So one thing that Elsa and I decided on as we were thinking of building this homestead was that we need to have some form of type of an alternative way of cooking, as opposed to just having maybe gas and electricity. Now, if you live in South Africa, then you're well aware of something called load shedding. Yeah, you've got to sort of start thinking about state proofing yourself, and one of those ways is a Dover stove. So we found this guy on the second-hand market, and it's been refurbished and revamped and painted and all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do today is just give it its first burn, just to get all the paint off of it and the smells and everything, before we think about doing the installation. What I ended up doing was building a plinth for our Dover stove, which we actually just did out of some concrete blocks, and then we spaced them correctly and put some cement onto the ground, and in between the blocks, it's 6 blocks, and then we put 3 lintels, 1.2 meter lintels on top of that. Also gave it a small quick coat of paint. We positioned the stove, and then we did the flue. Yeah, so we're just waiting for that that part at the top there's got a bit of cement where the hole went through. We're just waiting for that cement to dry a little bit, and then we will take that plastic off of that round part and then silicone that. But then at the end of the day, this is what we're left with. Okay, so this thing is now totally installed and it's ready to go, and I think tonight what we're going to do is we're actually going to cook on it. So let's get it fired up. Okay, so what do we have here? All right, we've got some white wine on the left. We've got some chopped bacon. We've got 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. We've got some mixed herbs. We've got 4 potatoes, 1 onion, 3 carrots, a little bit of chutney, some cheddar cheese, good old brown onion soup. And for the chicken, we've got 3 drumsticks and 2 breasts. And we've got our black pot chicken stock, some olive oil, and some Captain My Captain. Let's get this all prepped up. One thing that you really need to learn when you're staying out in a bit more of a rural area, and that is to be organized. And because if you don't, like in Cape Town where we stay, we've got a little hardware store about 5 minutes drive from where we are. So if you need a screw or you need a bracket or something like that, it's fairly quick. All you do is just take a quick drive to the shop and you come back. Yeah, we are busy installing our Dover stove, and we've just realized on the outside section of the pipe that's got the flue, that the bracket is too short. It's if we install it like that, it's going to hit the gutter pipe. So we're going to so I'm driving another 21 kilometers through to Gansbaai in order to get 2 L brackets that cost 15 Rand each. We've got everything else. We've got the cement, we've got the pipes, we've got the screws, the brackets, everything. But the bracket is just too short, so we're going to have to make a plan. But that involves driving now all the way through this morning to go and get extra L brackets to get the job done. And what makes it even more fun is that this weekend there's a huge cold front coming through the Western Cape. It's busy peeing with rain now as I'm driving, and it's nice and cold, and so the last thing you want to do is actually just get into the car and go and drive. Oh well, at least it's installed and it's working. We've tested it out. We know that it works nicely, and that chicken pot really came out nice. So yeah, if you want to give that a bash, I'd really recommend it. And just another thing is, it's got the little Dover's got a little oven next to it, well, as part of it. So I think in future videos we might just be baking 1 or 2 things. So yeah, that's just fair warning. One thing I must say though is making a cooking video on a Dover stove for the first time, without a kitchen, and then still needing to watch the load shedding schedule, was quite a challenge. So yeah, I actually take my hat off to those guys who have got cooking channels here on YouTube. Yeah, I tip my hat to you. It's a difficult thing to do, but it was a lot of fun and we enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.